Hello, I'm Steven Snakeyukin Lindsay of Gamerz Station, and I'm here to tell you about a new show that we're going to be doing at Gamerz Station, in which you can be involved with one way or another. The show is going to be an audio-only show, which means it really won't appear on YouTube. However, we will have a highlight video that will appear on YouTube, but our entire show will be available on iTunes and our website when it is released. Now, the show is currently titled Gamerz Station Indie Game Talk. But as that's not the most appealing title, we're allowing you to make some suggestions on a new title. If one of yours happens to fit or is the best, we'll choose yours, and it'll be the new title and you'll get props. Just leave a comment or email us if you have an idea. Now, the show's format will be very similar to G4TV's feedback. If you don't know what that is, let me kind of explain. Each show will have 3 to 4 panelists, with me acting as a moderator of such, for each of the shows. Now, each of them will have 1 or 2 guest panelists that will be one of you. The show itself will involve us discussing and talk about issues and problems, new releases, and other news and announcements in the indie game world. So perhaps that piques your interest and you want to be involved as a guest panelist. Before you consider trying out, as we're not just going to allow anyone to sign up, we need some type of way to see how you talk and all that first. Here are some prerequisites before trying out. First, you must have Skype. Skype is free, so this shouldn't be much of a big problem. Second, you need a good microphone. I'm not saying you need an excellent microphone, but I want a microphone that doesn't really have any background noise at all involving just the microphone. I don't mind a little static, but if it's heavy static, chirping, or some other noise, then don't try out. Third, you must be able to be alone, free, or somewhere where no one will bother you on a Saturday or Sunday. We don't want to be involved with a discussion whenever, say, someone in the background, such as a family member, comes in and wants to know where the pudding is, or your dog starts barking. So if you can't be alone, then don't try out for it. Also, if we do a discussion and I do hear some type of background sound and it disturbs us, you're not going to be on the show anymore. Fourth, you must be able to be on your toes. Now, several of the topics will be somewhat planned ahead a little bit. I'll send out a list of the topics, and you can think about them, do a little bit of research, and be a little bit prepared. However, there might be some things that come up during the discussion that isn't in your original assessment of what's going to go on. So you need to be able to at least be a little bit on your toes. I'm not saying it's going to be heavy thinking that requires quick thinking, but there might be some stuff that comes up that requires you to answer them a little bit quickly and you may not be a little bit prepared for. So if you're good with all of that, this is what you need to do to try out. So what you'll do is you'll send an email to us with an MP file or WAV or whatever you want to send it as, and title the subject in the email as Indie Game Talk Tryouts. Also, you can make a video response to this. It's up to you. What we want in it is, introduce yourself as you want to be in the show, such as your real name, your username, or both. It doesn't matter to us. I really don't care if you want to use your real name or not. It's up to you, and we're not going to force you if you don't feel comfortable with it. However, the reason we want this is because we want to know how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to introduce you, and I horribly mispronounce your name. I probably will do it anyways, but at least it won't be as bad as it would have been. Second, tell us what specific indie games or indie game companies that you happen to like. The reason for that is, there might be certain issues or discussions that come up that might be revolving around either the company, the certain game, or other games within that genre. So if you happen to like those type of games, you have a better chance of getting on for that show. Third, what consoles do you play your indie games on? Again, this is very similar to the last one about video games. Certain stuff may arise for certain consoles, such as the 360 or recently the iPod Touch and the iPhone, which will be something we talk about on our very first show, that if you have one of those, you have a better knowledge of those, so you have a better chance of being on the show. And lastly, we want you to discuss a certain topic of your choice. But we want you to tell us what it is before. It can be anything you want. It can be something that everyone knows about or something that no one has ever thought about before, as long as it's a discussion type topic. So all you have to do those things. You can add more if you want. Send an email with the title Indie Game Talk Tryouts to us, or you can make a video response. Now say you're not the discussing type, or you don't think you'll sound good on the microphone, or whatever. We do have other things that you can do, such as submitting a topic of discussion for us on our show. It's really simple. All you have to do is send us an email with the title Indie Game Talk Topics. We'll send it to us. If it's really good, it might be on the show. It might not be on the immediate show, but it'll be on the show nonetheless. And for all these, for our very first show, mind you, we'll keep continuing to have these brought in and all that, so you keep doing all the time. But be involved with the very first show for either topics or guest panelists. We need you to have in your lines by Wednesday, March 17th by midnight Eastern Standard Time. After that time, all of the other people, topics, and all that involved will carry on to our next show. So I can't wait to hear some of your topics, your ideas, some of your tryouts. Until then, look forward to our show.